Blep indeed. Blep indeed. How's it going, guys? How we doing? Need to dig up some more blue tack. This Death Jester is going to be based. Well, all of my Harlequins really are going to be rebased, and my Death Jester is going to go on a scenic base, and they're all going to go on this really cool rock-like thing, like a tray almost. It's quite cool. But yeah, voila, the Death Jester, which is a really cool model. It's going to be interesting to paint because there's areas on there that you really can barely reach because you can't build him without building the gun as well. Because this cloak, this bit, fits on, only goes on if you put the arm on, so you can't. Yeah, it's a bit, little bit annoying. But here we are. Right, doing good, relaxing for the evening. Got myself some new Tyranids. Nice. Aquashi may have slept until 5. Wow. Very nice. If you didn't need to do anything else, then amazing. What kind of nids did you get? You totally missed class. Oops. That is not ideal, I guess. Two Death Jesters walk into the Black Library. The first one says, "Do you know what home we seek this day?" The second one turns to them and signs. "Sign, speak up, I can't hear you." I'm afraid that's too lore-y, I think. That went straight over my head. Death Jester, fuck's sake. Yeah, it's probably best to get in the sea or something. Zoanthropes, very nice. Right, so my plan for this one, all the other ones are really bright, and I've sort of run out of useful color combinations. Because I've done a yellow one, I've done a pink one, I've done an orange one, I've done a red one, I've done a purple one, I've done a green one. So I can't really think of like any good color combinations. Purple, green, orange, red, yellow, blue. Yeah. You're painting some Eldar, nice. Yeah, so I'm going to be making this one black and white, I think. That should be cool. So let's grab a little bit of Abaddon black to go for the deepest, darkest recesses. And we can build up from there. Yeah, I thought so. Fits the theme. They're also not technically part of the squad, I think, from what I understand. So they can be he can be the slightly odd one out, which I think will work in this case. Up to 15 Eldar at this point. Very nice. Thinking I might mix a little bit of blue in with this black, just for interest. Are they all dragons or? Five dragons, okay. 5 spiders. Two Tyranids are eating some harlequins, one says to the other. This is so funny to you. See, I reckon the harlequins would find that really, really funny. Like meme quality, top notch. And 5 Reapers. That's actually good going. You've gone quick. Yeah, really glad I decided to do this side fully black and not the other side, because this arm is ridiculous. He's got like an extra, like an arm-like thing that holds up his gun. This thing. And it is so in the way. It is not even funny. Nivian is mean. It was his birthday on Tuesday. And so yesterday, and I've been like trying to spoil him rotten in the limited ways that we have as people in this world. He yeah, so I got him nice presents and stuff, and then today he said, so I was a bit bored at work today, so I ordered your birthday present. And I'm like, that's not for another month, and you're telling me, and now I have to sit here and wonder what my present is for a month. I am not good with surprises. Harlequin Loves there, keepers of the old Eldar tradition of theatrical record keeping. Like oral history, but with interpretive dance. That's nice. Travel between the surviving Eldar civilizations, putting on performances to pass on knowledge. Ah, that's actually quite nice. Posture check. Nice. Funk. Hydrate. My drink is here. Which is way better than Haha Elf Clown, yes, 100%. Thank you for the care package paint, much appreciated. Welcome, welcome as always. How are we doing? You feeling any better or still rough? This is the way, yeah. You are, had a nap, had food, good. Built an orc vehicle, also. Excellent way to get over a cold. Or cold-like symptoms, anyway. have a little look what this says here. Okay. I think I will do this leg with the diamonds, because that means I have the most real estate. How am I? I'm alright, thank you. I am happy to be painting, as always. It makes my heart feel good. Let's put him in some black boots as well. Yeah, so Nivian is printing off this really cool, like, scenic base tray for me, for these guys to go on. So essentially it will be individual bases of the right size, which slot into a larger tray that fits on a like a little shelf-like thingy. It's really cool. Just thinking what kind of color accents I want to give this guy. He has yellow on here, purple and yellow. Got red on there, red and yellow. I think a dark red, because that will go nicely on the underneath of the cloak as well. It's a little bit silly, but I've yeah, this needs to be finished by the 2nd of May, which sounds like a load of time, but considering I only have, like, the whole project needs to be finished by the 2nd of May, because I need to drop it off on the 2nd of May or before. Considering I have all the Jesters to rebase, or the Harlequins to rebase, the Jester to fully paint with the freaking checkerboard pattern, and to do the scenic base as well, I am up against it. Okay. This is probably a bad shout, but I'm not going to start painting white diamonds. I will start with the black ones. What is everybody up to this week? How are your weeks going? Everyone doing all right? Any plans for this weekend? Lazy? Lazy's nice. You're having a birthday party Sunday. Nice! It's your birthday. I know. But no money. And it's a week off next week. Nice. That's good. Yes, models. Models. Normal work week, nothing major. So I'll do some painting as like killer cans. Nice. Then realize you missed a whole lot of bits when you sprayed them. Ah, balls. Read the base code manually. Oh yeah. It's probably quicker than fully respraying them. What kind of bits did you miss? Like pouches and stuff, or? Good afternoon, Dagamad. How are you doing? Sitting here wondering why it's so warm in here. It's because my heating is on full blast. What a muppet. So why is my paint drying so quickly? Because it's boiling in here. That's why, you silly sausage. Yeah, I needed a squad leader to go with my Harlequins, because that's the brief for the diorama. For the what's for the diorama? For the hobby store competition in May. Should be handed in on the 2nd of May. Just couldn't get enough. No, exactly. And with how like limited my time is at the moment, I figured, oh, I'll just use my Harlequins. I just need to sort out a a leader. And from what I've been told, I know he's not technically able to like attach to a unit, but I think it still counts. Right? That's what I get for not playing the game. Olivia Joseph, thank you very much. I really appreciate the follow. Very kind of you. How are you doing today? You're catching me at arguably the worst part of any Harlequin process, is the rough sketching in of the diamonds. It always looks rough as old boots at the start. So apologies. I promise it will look nice at the end. Like, they'll look nice and pretty, except in black and white in this case, which will also be nice for a change. I don't really I normally go for really bright colors, so it's quite interesting to have to basically forcing myself to use black and white, which is yeah, different to say the least. Oh balls. Good lord, what a state. Bear with. Bear with, that is just disgusting. And we're going to fix that, because that is not how we do this. Which means that is also not how we do this. That first one can stay though. Fine, I'll do some painting. Good. Good. You do that. It's healthy. Good for the brain tingles. Hop off, gotta wake up at 5 AM to... Ooh. Yeah, no, that's not ideal. Thank you very much for dropping in. I appreciate it. I hope you'll share more of your painting. That'd be awesome. Because I always love to see what people are working on, as you well know. And sleep well. Hopefully speak again soon. After you've made your bugs. Nice. Good, good. "20 streams, Grey Wolf. Come in, welcome. How are you doing? I need to blink more. Blink more and drink more. I love that the French for Death Jester is a freaking tongue twister, isn't it? Is bouffon tragique. Like, tragic clown. Been better just for dealing with a lot of shit upstairs in the old head. Fair. Yeah. I am working on the Death Jester to go with my Harlequin troupe for my competition piece for our local gaming store. It needs to be finished on by the 2nd of May. And I don't have an awful lot of time left. I know that sounds like a long time, but with how quickly I paint, or slowly, and the fact that I have to rebase the Harlequins and do like a little scenic base thingy for them, I am up against it. I've got your project is over here in a box next to me, all with like very basic base coats on them at the moment. So that's once these guys are finished, I'll continue on with that one. This is funny because this is quite a bluish, greyish colour. On the model it looks still very white, so I am cautiously optimistic that this will work out. Nick has finished printing your base toppers, Grey Wolf. They're in a box in the house. So it's all moving nicely. Let's just have a few things happening at the same time. Johan! I do wear wigs, if people make me. I will wear wigs. When will you wear wigs?
When will you wear
there
wigs?
There we go. What color, Quishy? Light pink, neon pink, or long and blue? How are we this evening? I'm alright. I'm tired, but otherwise I'm alright. Painting a Death Jester for my Harlequins troop, because I need a leader to go with the little scenic thingy. Long and blue and the hat. Okay. You guys know how to work for it. How to make me work for it. There we go. Yeah, I will get that refunded. I don't know how, or I do know how, but not with when I'm just working in OBS. I don't think OBS allows me to do it. So once a mod comes in, I will get that refunded. Or I can just continue wearing the wig for 20 minutes. Sorry, the hat for 20 minutes. That is also fine. It really is. It's quite warm. Well, it's all right at the moment. It's going to be an absolute nightmare in the summer. At the moment, it's all right, but in the summer, I'm going to be sweating my tits off. Yeah, I've had this one this week for a while. I've had a few people redeem it so far. It's I think it's the nicest one of the wigs that I have. I have another one in the house somewhere. And there's sound alerts. Huh? Yeah, it's a wig. Yeah, no, my hair's not this long. Yeah, it's a redeem. It's a I have a like a bubblegum pink one, like a neon pink one. They're both like bob length, and this one is a long dark blue and brighter blue one. I know. I've got a couple of absolutely savage ones as well, so... I'm not going to give anyone ideas, but yeah. Nah, it's alright at the moment. It's going to be, like I was saying earlier, it's going to be a nightmare in the summer when it's hot in here. And when I'll be sweating a little bit and all the wig hair will be sticking to my face and to my neck and everything, and I'll be screaming. I may have to turn them off for a bit then around that time, because I think I'll probably want to murder whoever redeems one, and that wouldn't be very fair. Yeah, exactly. I'll disable these anyway. I've got, or I should come up with other ones. One of my friends has a redeem for 33,000 points, I think. You can buy a third of that redeem as well. It's you can make him wear a onesie, and I kind of love that. I think that's really, really fun. But I'd either have to go in the house to go get changed, or keep a onesie in the garage permanently, because I can completely see you guys all hoarding your points and just onesie redeeming me all the time, so... How am I today? I'm alright. I am alright. I am better now that I'm painting. Work was mad boring. Never quite understood the concept of those onesies. As in, one piece. It's a onesie. It's like, yeah, they're mostly awkward, to be honest. Thank you for the posture check. And a hydrate. And a stretch. Ooh, look, clicked my elbow, that did. Get your coins, mate. It would do a redeem of 500 for a Grey Wolf coin. That'd be really cool. That would be really cool. And have your own currency. You see him, you're like, why would anyone want a sleeping bag, light side, with arms and legs, and be active? Well, you wouldn't want to wear it around the like outside, right? They're very much a lounging about kind of piece of clothing. So to like have a nice chill read in or something like that. Although there was this whole period in time where like rompers were fashionable for women, like one-piece things like with shorts and a top bit. You don't hoard your points, you look after the Tamagotchi. Thank you. It is much appreciated. Because the streamer Gotchi doesn't look after herself, so it's appreciated. Is Johan still here, or has he disappeared? I'm gonna check your Discord DM, you'll see what I mean with challenge coin. I think Ah, sick. Oh, that's really cool. People wear them when they're shopping. I mean, I only have fluffy ones. Like, I have two. One is a grey fluffy one. Like, has it got wolf ears? I can't remember. And the other one is a dinosaur and it's pink with a tail on it. Like, they're definitely meant to be comfy and cute kind of thing. But it's one of those outfits that 100% looks better on like skinnier people. Because they only go up so much in size. Like they say like, oh, one size fits all, but they don't. So if you're tall like I am and not skinny, you very quickly end up with them being... Again, you're practical, barely got what you call fancy. Yeah, I must admit that I mean, I practically live in these sweaters. I have two of them because I am. I've been told it's an autism symptom, so that tracks. Once you find a piece of clothing that you're comfortable in, you buy multiples of it. And the moment I get home, especially in summer, in winter it's not so, not really possible because I'm always cold, but socks go off because I hate the feeling of tight socks around my ankles. Horrible feeling. Anything tight is awful. Don't remind me of size. Debating several cloth pieces to work medieval festival. Your size is weird. Oh, it's... Sizing for women is horrendous. Like, actually horrendous. I can basically not buy jeans because my waist circumference, where my waist is the narrowest, is way smaller than my thighs would suggest. So I have quite big thighs. My like on top of my hip bones I'm quite wide, but then higher up around my waist I am really narrow comparatively. So no jeans will fit, so I have to buy like jeggings and shit like that. And I always rip out of my jeans and in my thighs, like the seams on the inside, they've... Just because my thighs rub together, they wear quicker there. And wide shoulders. So coats never fit. I always have to buy larger coats because I can't lift my arms otherwise. But yeah, clothing sizes for women are ridiculous anyway. Every shop you go into, your size is different. Like I might be a 14 in one shop and 16 in another and 18 in another, and if I'm really lucky I might be a 12 somewhere else. Like I know they'll be wrong because I'm not a 12, but... If you don't match your current posh model in your stuff, you're tall, skinny, etc. Motion look requires a way to get up to yeah. It's ridiculous, isn't it? 85 kilos it is. How tall and skinny are you then? Like, if 85 kilo, I suppose 85 is not a lot of weight, to be honest, across. So I know I'm heavier than that. I'm like 90 plus, I think, at the moment. Because I am not on the skinny phase of my life, let's put it that way. 187, yeah, that is slim. But you could, depending on what you're going for, you could make some really, really cool things as well. What kind of outfits are you leaning towards? Also don't tend to fill out as much as fat though, and with bringing in medieval clothing. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it sits differently, doesn't it? It's very unfair. Like, for women, medieval clothing, fantastic, because you wear dresses, so you don't have to worry about trouser sizes. Has it been 10 minutes yet? It must be 10 minutes. 15 minutes, see? But yeah, for women you can just wear a dress, wear like a corset thingy on top and fixed. For men it's not as easy. Oh god, no, you don't want to wear padding. $12 you wear jeans and t-shirt. Oh god. I'm such a wimp when it comes to the cold. I really don't do well with cold. Like at the moment I'm still sleeping with a duvet, 2 blankets and an electric blanket. In my defense, we do always have windows open when we go to bed, because otherwise I'll get a headache. I haven't done any cosplay or dress up in probably 15 years, I want to say. Like, the last time I wore something, it was this long black goth dress, which now is a little bit on the tight side. Just a bit. No worries, enjoy your food. I hope it's something tasty. If you have any pictures of your cosplay, Manaman, do share, because I always like to see that kind of thing. I find it very, very interesting. I swear I need to make a blink redeem. Ooh. Downside for black and white, which I hadn't really thought of, is that you really have nowhere to hide. No mistakes. We have no room. No room for mistakes on this man. Why do I do this to myself again? Remind me. Masochism, that's it. Because you enjoy it. Masochism. Existence is pain. But at least when we're painting, the pain is fun. Chat calls you a good girl after you suffer. Yeah. I don't think I have a praise kink. It's not come up yet. Blink, Barbie, blink. Pretty sure this music just activated the Pavlovian response. It tends to do that, yeah, Zelda does. I mean, this whole playlist, to be honest, we're all... Yeah, we're all stuck on... our happy memories for video games. What was the response on your side? This damn red boat isn't going fast enough. Yeah. It's like, dude. Any slower and we're going backwards. More like king of never catching a ghost ship. Oh man. I think I remember my brother played this. And I watched, I think. I never played any of the Zelda games myself. It's I just remember during the Ocarina of Time, I think one of the first bosses is a spider boss. And you go into that tree and the boss music starts. And in that room where you're in, there is no enemy. But it makes you walk into the room and then the spider drops down from the ceiling. And I just remember my brother, who's 5 years younger than I am, he was playing this. He was already like ridiculously tense because the boss music had started. He was scared. He walked into that room and that spider fell down from the ceiling and he screamed and the controller ended up on the other side of the room, bless him. That spider was not pretty. Very creepy spider. I mean, back then it was. I think now we think like, okay, you were scared of this, really? But, you know how it goes. Back then we thought it looked cool. Ocarina of Time with George Mask was so good. Yeah, I know. Like, I spent many a happy hour watching my brother play. Like, there were games that we would play together, games that he would play, and games that I would play, and It like I used to play Rayman 2, The Great Escape or something. I think that's the one that I played on Nintendo 64. And Mario 64 we used to split. He would do all the like fighty stuff because I didn't really enjoy that. And I would do all the jumping puzzles. The irony of me now not being able to complete the jumping puzzle to save my life is quite funny, but I used to be quite good at them back in the day. Getting home from secondary school, switching on the Nintendo 64, I know, right? It was Dragon Ball Z as well. We rushed home to watch Dragon Ball Z at 3:30. It's quite funny because my brother and I didn't have a lot of things in common when we were little. Because obviously there was a 5-year age difference, which is quite a lot when you're young. But for Dragon Ball and for our little console games, we were pretty good at sharing, and yeah, it was nice. To be fair, I am very lucky with my brother. He was a bit of a handful when he was very young. And by a bit of a handful, that is a massive understatement. Like how my mum didn't lose her absolute mind is still a question to me. But it's one of those situations where knowing what we know now about the man he's gonna grow into, do it all over again. I'm very lucky with my brother. I don't really get to see him often enough, which is a shame. Mrs. Cash is such a big lifelong Dragon Ball fan that we had to put so much of our lives around it. Taking her to meet the voice cast a few times, she had to shrine to Vegeta, arrange a bridge Goku to deliver a personal message to her. Wow. That's amazing. I never really did watch the abridged Dragon Ball. I probably should. Considering how much I loved it when I was younger. To learn more about Dragon Ball Z and is healthy because of her. The things we do for love, right? So her favourite character Vegeta then, if she had a shrine to Vegeta? Spoilers, he is mine. She loves Vegeta. Good. Yeah, I always found Goku a little bit annoying. I always thought he was a bit of a dickhead to Chi-Chi, even if Chi-Chi was a fucking tiger mom. Wrote a novel-length, really successful fanfic about him. Wow. The abridged version is fantastic. Okay. Yeah, I've heard good things about it, so I've been meaning to. I think the problem is there's so many things that I want to watch. But I have very little time to actually watch something. Like when I'm painting, I like to have something on in the background, but I don't. That doesn't really allow me to really watch a show, if that makes sense. Fic is currently being translated by fans to a few different languages, currently getting published in Mandarin in China. Holy moly! You must be really proud. Barely any smut in it. Very impressive. Wow. Barely any smut and it's still successful? I mean, it must be good. People are willing to read it without the smut factor. The smut writing days are behind you. You put it in a book you can hold with both hands for change. Wow. Yeah, I read a lot of smut, not gonna lie, but I don't read it for that reason. Like, it doesn't do anything for me in that sense. It's more of a for me, it's like I enjoy when other people are having fun. That makes me happy. No, it's not lies. Like, it's like it's not like watching porn or something for men or whatever. It just doesn't, for me anyway, doesn't do that. Argument. No, I know, but you know that I will. No, for me, there's something really enjoyable about reading that kind of book and just not, yeah, like being happy for the people in it. Like, how great is it to have amazing sex and have a fantastic werewolf boyfriend or whatever? Like, sounds really fun. You do you, love. I'm good with mine though. Join to compare. Yeah, basically, yeah. I just find it fun to read about, which I suppose is a bit strange, but it's also incredibly easy to read 9 times out of 10. And I usually, generally speaking, don't have the brain power for anything that's hard work. So that's another reason I enjoy that. Plus it's usually like strong female leads, which I quite like as well. I like it when women aren't coddled and I'm listening to an audiobook at the moment, and I thought, or I hoped, that like the main character would freaking grow a pair, but I'm now like, how many hours in am I? A lot of hours in. Yeah, there's 16 hours left out of a 24 hour, 21 hour audiobook. And she is so whiny and so needy, and it just, ugh. I'm genuinely considering did not finish, which I don't normally do. She drives me nuts. Should not have bought this book. You're kind of stuffed. What did you buy? What did you eat? What did you have? Wow. Don't think it's strange. I'm a fan of the build up and the tension before things get sticky. Tend to lose interest when they actually get started. Yeah, that's fair. It has to be written well. I think a lot of the smut authors fall into this into the trap of reusing like almost standard phrases for certain mechanics, and it just puts you off. Kind of I prefer movies because a few hours and you're done, and it's just done better than shows. No prolonging. Triple cheese pizza, nice. No, I love a build up, and I love a great series. Like there's a book series that I love to read, and like a new one came out the other day. I think that was book 11 in the series, and I absolutely tore through it. I didn't know it was coming out, and it was all of a sudden. You remember Dargana this time? Nice. Absolutely tore through it, and now I'm gutted that I have to wait for the next one. So I have no idea when it's going to come out. Later this year, I think, was just what the author was saying. Evening. How you doing? You've got 3 books of fiction you've promised yourself to read. The Hannibal Lecter books. Huh. Yeah, that does not appeal to me in the least, but I can understand why people like it. You totally failed to spot me at Salute. I did have fun, yes. I had a great time. It was very, very good. I'm still a little bit sore and knackered. But it was a great time. How did you find it? Did you buy anything? Or rather, what did you not buy? Rest you own is non-fiction, cooking books, army photography stuff. Oh god. You love the movies and you'd love to read the books. Ah, okay, now that's fair. I have a lot of cookbooks as well, but for some reason I always look at them, get really excited, and then never use them. I don't know if you have the same problem, but for me it's a common issue. I have, well, not loads, but like a shelf and a half or something of cookbooks. And it is extremely rare for me to use a cookbook for when I'm cooking. Don't follow recipes are safe and find inspiration. Yeah, I get that too, but I often find myself still sort of falling back on the trusted basics. I very rarely have the energy to do like a more elaborate cooking session, which is really a shame because I love to cook and to bake. But normally by the time we get home, I'm hungry, hangry, and I just need food in me, so we end up with something that can be done quickly. A quick pasta or something, or a stir fry or whatever. A few of them are like 50 years older than you, all about how meat is cut. Wow. Good old fact of how to do and use. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Didn't buy a lot of Salute, a book and a mini for bolt action. Discovered a vehicle previously only in resin and now plastic kit. Nice. Couldn't get one at Salute, but got one on the mill now. Nice. Little started doing these £2 high protein ready meals, which is, yeah, they're all right. I don't really see the use for high protein for me because I don't really need the protein, if that makes sense. So I tend to like not go for that kind of stuff, but I suppose there's not really a reason to not have high protein. Taking it today, you're hungry when you turn on the oven for a frozen pizza. Granted, this pizza is better than anything you'd order there. Okay, it's a ready meal. You can eat. It's rare enough to this thing. Yeah, oh no, I get that. Completely get that. It's having any kind of food intolerance is horrendous for pre-made stuff. You tend to eat a lot of protein because your metabolism does dumb stuff on refined carbs. I need to eat more veg. I like vegetables a lot. But I just end up not using them as much as I should. Or always the same types, like green beans or manchtu or sweet corn or asparagus. Wheat is in everything. Rice is gluten-free. If you don't need a protein, there's no use and can go, yeah, you realize your metabolism is through the roof. Rice is supposed to be gluten-free. Why? I didn't realize there were gluten in rice. Hello, Ben. Yeah, not bad, thank you. How are you? Gained about 5 kilos since the end of Jan. That's huge. Now waiting for pain to get figured out so you can go back to regular workout. Oh, nice. Is this intentional weight gain, Manaman? Or is this, oh shit, I've stopped working out, so now I'm filling out? Okay, so it's muscle rather than fat. That's cool. What do you miss? Is it? But 1.5 weeks so far off it. Do you miss it? Gonna go hurt going back to it. Ooh, yeah. I've always disliked working out. My body does not create the happy hormone that people are supposed to get from working out. Or it might make it, but not after working out. So the only time I feel good after exercise is if it's exercise that was like playing volleyball or something like that. Something active that isn't actively shit. Muscles mainly because metabolism burn everything else. Nice. You're decent. Decent volts for a change. You got DOMs from gym yesterday. What is DOMs? With 25 years of martial arts on your belt in the army, you can't sit still for too long. Always been active. Yeah, that's fair. I think if it was martial arts, I would probably be less annoyed. It's just like, I tried going to the gym on multiple occasions. I tried running. And the only type of running that I can do is if I'm running to a destination. My brain just won't let me do stuff that is pointless. And I know that like logically or like realistically running in general is not pointless. But my my brain just refuses to believe that if I'm not going somewhere, that it's useful. So every single step feels like a struggle. Always. So when I used to run back in the Netherlands, I used to run from work to my house 3 times a week. And that worked. I was probably at my skinniest back then. But that's not really an option here. And also, I hate running. So, delayed onset muscle soreness. Oh. That means you've had a good workout then. Running sucks, you don't get paid for it anymore. Army days, year 1, you ran like 8 kilometers after service every day. Whatever you did during service, jeez. Right, so these are the base diamonds blocked in on the cloak. I'm gonna put them on this leg as well. You flew by my wow house. It's very outsidey, my wow house. It's definitely nicer on the outside than it is on the inside. Good workout indeed. Nice. I used to play volleyball and I used to ride horses. They're both active sports. Even though people always underestimate how active horse riding is. But I haven't... Like, volleyball... My hands, my hands are for some reason really prone to injury. So I stopped playing volleyball because as soon as an opponent realizes that you've got taped fingers, they'll start trying to smash the ball into your fingers. Because if they can get you off the field, that's good for them. So I had to stop playing volleyball, unfortunately. Nowadays there's lots of walking, archery, sword training, a bit of boxing and lifting. Nice. Yeah, I feel like lifting might be something that I wouldn't hate too much, but Shatner is 95, aging amazingly well, was all the horse riding keeping him fit. Yeah. I mean, horse riding is genuinely hard work. I know people take the piss. Oh, you sit around. Well, you just sit down. Well, you... But it is doing it well is hard work. Like especially dressage and show jumping and stuff is very active. Your core and your legs. Meat scooter is a really good workout. And your mother and daughter does it. I know what you should know. What is meat scooter? Do I want to Google this? Oh, God. But it really is, and I know that people take the piss, but it's amazingly hard work, and yeah. I miss doing it, but it's very much a rich people's sport, and I don't have the money for it. Or the time at the moment, which is another thing. Sports cows. Horses are the rabbits of large animals. Like they just want to die. They will find reasons to get colicky and yeah, just silly little ankle sprains and stuff. It is amazing for posture and core build. Yeah. I mean, our teacher used to have us basically just do laps in like elevated seat from, I'm not really sure if that's the correct translation, but what you would need to do for show jumping. Just to strengthen our core muscle and leg muscles. And holy moly. And she would look at us, and even from behind, she would look at us and she'd like, Flo, you're not breathing. I'm sitting there, ah, shit. We got a new horse in, so yeah, 2 rideable, 2 not much bigger than a big dog. Where do I where you stand in the stirrups, yes. It is suffering. In the best way possible, of course. Romantic story. Mrs. used to ride and loved horses. She started learning in secret so you could take her for a horse-dragon honeymoon. Oh, competent enough to be safe, but not very confident. Set out on the ride with a guide on a glorious sunny day. Riding a wooded trail across hills, magnificent and just as perfect as you planned. However, you had a horse that could clearly feel you weren't very confident and was misbehaving a little. Ooh, managed to misjudge my mansion heavily on your male parts. Yes. Oh god. Oh no. Look. Oh god. Yeah. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but that is... Oh, typical. It's like, oh... Isn't this amazing, honey? But that is so sweet, though. She must have loved it. Can't trust another... Yeah, I mean, horses are funny like that anyway. Like, you think everything is fine and they will see a shadow of something and absolutely lose their freaking mind over nothing. I can't even remember how many times I've been thrown off. And usually it wasn't even because the horse was trying to get me off. It was just shit that happened that I really wasn't expecting. It's another one of those hobbies that I feel like I'm best off not doing now because I will probably end up breaking all the bones in my body. Personally, not worried about going on a mini scooter. You need cloth. Oh, well, 100% you need to wear a helmet. Like, I feel like if you're not wearing a helmet, you're being reckless. When I started learning, the whole like body protector thing wasn't really a thing. That didn't come in until way after, and it's now one of the more conventional pieces of equipment. But yeah, I've had broken ribs and bleeding hands from where blisters on my fingers got ripped open. Everything is fine until it's not. Yeah, that's it. You get yeeted vest, yes. To this day, she remembers a day of youthful love and you just remember the pain and the taste. Body protector and good helmet, absolutely, I agree. You just, it's just not worth the risk. Like, why would you risk injuring yourself so badly that you might? I mean, it's dangerous still. Like, you can still break your neck falling off a horse, right? So, why risk any other kind of injury if you can? Don't break ribs, it hurts a lot. Yeah, you broke. Yeah, I fell off my pony, landed on my hand, and my elbow went into my side. Got back on my horse or my pony. But every time I shifted like that, I could I could feel it move. It was pretty rank. You're already injured enough, don't need more. Yeah, no. I'd quite like to do like horse and carriage kind of things. Like go on like a trek with a picnic and a carriage and something like that now. So you're still with the horse but not on the horse. You fell down 2-meter pit, landed on steel, you busted like 4 to 5 ribs left side in one go. Ooh. Ugh. No jeans. Oh god, yeah, no jeans. I remember one of my friends went, we were both in France, and I had leggings with me. She didn't. We were in the south of France, and she, we hired some ponies for, like a hack kind of thing. And she was wearing a thong and jeans, and she had bits of jeans stuck in the blisters between her ass cheeks by the end of it. So bad time. Bad time. Ponies, that's the word for them. Horse things. Friends got. Yeah, ponies are just smaller. And generally speaking, like more feisty. Which is what I always liked. I liked them feisty. I liked the challenge. I always picked the ones that no one else dared ride because I don't know, I mean, they bite. It's like, that one kicks, that one is scary. It's like, okay, I'll ride it. Yeah. It was, honestly, she said, can you check if I got it all? Because there was the 2 of us in a tent. I was like, well, sure. It's just really, really painful. Oh man. Like on a campsite as well, you can't even clean it properly. Yeah, it was a nightmare. I really felt for it because that hurt like hell. I mean, I've had blisters from riding there, but not as bad as that. The main one is stupid nice and easy. Daughter does terrain, jumps to terrain, and they just keep pushing on. Yeah. Slightly amusing on my end? Well, yes and no. Like, I don't want any of my friends to suffer, if that makes sense. But that was very much a that was bad decisions kind of situation. Like, why would you wear one, a G-string when you're riding horses? That is a mistake waiting to happen. And two, jeans. But you regularly receive video of her training or competing. Wow. I've only ever done one competition and I hated it. Cause like I wasn't, like, we weren't rich by any means. Like we were quite the opposite really. And my mum really scraped to be able to pay for riding lessons for me. And I wanted to do a competition because it was my riding school and everyone was doing it and I wanted to do it. And I hated learning the what's it called now? The cure, the course thing. Hated learning that. I hated that all my friends that really fancy, like the fancy riding jackets and the mandatory white gloves and everything, and I had to borrow that stuff because I didn't have it. It wasn't very fun. Big hairy GM, I am not bad, thank you. How are you doing? Children's stubborn size as well. Some point they had a different horse that yeeted her off like 7 times in a few hours. She keep it. And it's towards the end she had tears in her eyes, selling the horse off. She's like 12. Oh, bless her. Some horses are just dickheads for the fun of it. I remember that same riding school that I just mentioned. They had one small white pony called Kiwi. Kiwi we were allowed to do a little gallop like during the lesson, did a couple of laps, yada yada. Kiwi always, every single time, would just race, just run off, just like absolute bat out of hell, and then hit the brakes. And usually in a corner, so you would get launched against the side of the arena. And we had one guy in our group who got thrown off 3 times in 1 hour, but still got on every single time. But yeah, Kiwi the pony. Quite funny. Sounds a bit like an asshole. Yes! Kiwi was a bit of an asshole. I mean, understandably, I would be a bit of an asshole as well, I think, if I had to do the riding school kind of lessons the way that school or riding school was. It's very stuck up, very fancy, and not very, very nice. I found a much nicer riding school where I went to when I was older and paid for my own lessons. And they were way more geared towards, like, animal welfare and not making them do the same thing over and over again every single day. which, what a surprise, makes your horses less of a dick. Kid, she's around 15 now, definitely got bone in her. Got to get back on, no worries. Sometimes you just... Yeah, exactly. Gotta swallow the vomit and keep riding, yes. Just cup those gonads and grin and bear it. You should get to ride the same horse over and over, get to know them and trust each other. Yeah, be well worth it by then, yes. Yeah, I always liked the ponies that none of the other girls liked. So I usually, if there was a choice, like I was lucky enough to ride the ponies that I actually really liked. Annoyingly though, because I always liked the dickhead ponies, it also meant that they tended to get sold and broke my heart. I used to look after a pony at a sort of like not really a theme park, but they had like bumper rides and like what are they called? Oh god, what are those called? Oh, I've lost the word. It's fallen out of my head. Oh no. Dodgems. There was also like flower parks and play areas for the kids and stuff. So it was one of those, and there was pony riding there as well. So you could buy a token, and you would get your you could get on one of the ponies, and we would lead you around essentially. And I had a favorite pony there as well, and I still vividly remember wanting to buy her, and I had all kinds of like crazy ideas of where I would keep her, and actually offered the owner money for her. He, needless to say, didn't go for it. But her name was Arona, and I now see cars that are called Arona, and I am so tempted to buy one because of that pony. Thinking if I ever need to buy a second car, I might look and see if I can find an Arona. That feels like it's the kind of thing that I should be doing. The name Ronin is a cursed name. Look at old Japan. It was disowned samurai. Yeah, they're the traveling, not linked to a feudal lord or rogue ninja. Masterless indeed. Samurai without a feudal lord. Where they keep their horses, private property, farm place, just across the gravel road. These big horses, like their shoulders being near your height. Oh yeah, I love those. I always liked the ponies, but like big horses, there's something just really satisfying about a big horse. I don't really know why. Because of his name, you think those few seconds of blinding agony or temporarily racist Japanese. Samurai became Ronin often when they failed to protect their master, which is fair. If the alternative is a nice case of Sudoku, which I know is not the correct word, but I'm not going to sit here talking about ritualistic falling on your own sword, then I don't see why you wouldn't go travel and do something else. Like, do you want children? Maybe he was just trying to help you in that regard. Like, sure, this guy doesn't want any kids. Joke's on him. Still had 2 kids. There we go. I have to get a surgeon to do the job properly years later. Clever. Yeah, Nivian has offered to stop me from needing to use any birth control, but I quite happily have my coil because it means that I don't get my periods, and my periods are the fucking worst. I haven't had a proper period in 15 years, which is fantastic. Take that, Ronan, my eternal mortal enemy. Luckily, you're not that bad. You adore kids, but it's not for you. Imagine toddlers running around the place full of swords, axes. Yeah, no thanks. Does not sound like a sensible thing to do, no. Your elders suffer terribly with their periods, but we have been really struggling to get the NHS to give the right birth control. So, for me, it was a coil. I could not get on with like the pill or anything like that. The high levels of hormone on it just meant that I got really, really big, and I got mega depressed. Like, really, really depressed. 270 on the hunt. Jesus. So, but for children, I wouldn't recommend a coil because it is pretty agonizing. They essentially ram a piece of plastic and metal up into your uterus, so it's and without painkillers or anything like that. So. Yeah, it's not a fun process, but for me it's worth it. Once every 5 years to go through agony to not have periods for 5 years, yeah. Even those kids you're around, you're all for them learning just a knife for starters. Learn it, learn to respect it. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Got a friend was on the pill, right? She ended up with blood clot in her leg. Yeah, it's it happens. The pill is really not safe, and they don't talk about all the side effects often enough, or much at all. They just say, "Oh, you just go on the pill," and they don't realize that there's huge chances of weight gain, mental health problems, thrombosis. Yeah, there's a lot there that people don't realize. Jack, how are you doing? Best they've had is the injection. You're hoping as I turn 16 on Monday, more options will start being offered. Yeah. I mean, for me, combination of a coil with, like last time, the hospital where I had it done, normally I got it done at my GP surgery, and you get no pain relief or whatsoever. But at the hospital I went to last time, they had gas. So they said, "Would you like some gas?" I was like, "Yes, please." And it was still fucking awful, but nowhere near as awful as it could be. For the ghost over a girlfriend eating the pill. Yes. Yes, it's not great. But then, if you're very irregular, normally it can be helpful, and for a lot of women, it does work. I think it's just one of those things where we're not conscious enough of the side effects a lot of the time. They just think, oh, you just take a tablet. I think if men had to take, or either go through periods or had to take the pill, better versions would have been already invented. But because women don't complain enough, or if they do, they get told to just take a paracetamol and go home and maybe lose some weight, smile more. Yeah. Find it easy, just don't do so. Yeah, that works. Pills are not good no matter what. And that's dealing with hormones, stupid bad for stuff. Yeah. You end up getting done at the vets. And your female partners were so much happier without pills. Oh yeah, 100%. It's just, yeah. It's not for everyone, I get it, and I think the only thing that I find problematic is that some men refuse to get the snip because they're worried about someone near their bits. But it's reversible and it's safe and it's very minor surgery, so why not? Why would you make your partner take shitloads of medication to just because you can't be bothered to wear a condom? Shorter waiting time. Wait, seriously? Yeah, Christianity gets yeah. I'm not even gonna go there. I was gonna say, it'd be very interesting to find a vet that would actually be willing to do that. Because I reckon they'd lose their license, I reckon. Just go to one of those farm vets where they just grab a pair of pliers and just done a women's hospital. Fair. You see, I decided to not get kids before you even wanted any mid-20s, so you haven't gotten around to get snipped, and now 20 years later you don't even care to be in a relationship. Yeah, that's also fair. It's not for everyone. I always thought that I wanted kids when I was like early 20s. I had it all planned out of my head. I was like, I will have kids by the time I'm 26, my second kid by the time I'm 28. Like my mum had her first kid at 26. And then I was 28 and there were no kids. And the pressure was off. And I was like, actually, I really don't want kids. So, yeah, I'm glad it worked out the way it did, because it would have been, yeah. I can barely look after myself most days, let alone a child. You make for a bad boyfriend, you're rather used to being single by now. Yes. It's... I think... once you get used to being single and you start enjoying your life, like, quietly and by yourself, it's very difficult to let someone in again. Including the part before and after where you have to give a sample in a cup, so you have to walk past a bunch of women's boards, very conscious of everyone knowing exactly what you're about to do. Yes. Yes. But at the same time, they'll probably also have been appreciative of the fact that you're willing to go through that, because a lot of men aren't. So... they might have known what you were up to, but they probably appreciated it for your partner. Plenty of things you miss from being in a relationship, but overall you got things that you could pass on, and that's when kids became... yeah. Now I've like, after I turned 28, I was like, no, I'm good, thanks. And I haven't wanted kids since. I don't dislike kids. I just don't want them myself. Who wants to live with a tosser like me that prioritizes wine and swords over most things? Yeah. I think the wine would be more of a problem for me than swords, to be honest. Having had a alcoholic father, I'm like a drink every now and then is fine, but less drama and arguments. Yeah, he loved kids, couldn't eat a whole one. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I don't really know where that came from. It just happened. It went from horse riding to bruised nuts to not wanting kids to birth control and all that stuff, so yeah. Every now and you think every now and every day as well. Between 1 and 2 bottles average. Wow. Yeah, I think you'll find few partners who would find that acceptable in a life partner anyway. Doesn't mean you can't have like hookups and stuff, but You're not gay. My solution was to get a blacksmith boyfriend. You get all this. Well, you don't need to pay them in favors, right? You can still have a blacksmith male friend. Not even looking. I do what you do. Yeah, no, of course. No, if you're like, we all have different goals in life, right? And as far as I'm concerned, as long as people are happy and not hurting anyone, then fantastic. It's all I want in life. People are happy and that things go well for everyone. You mod for blacksmith, but he refuses to make sword. What does he make? I do know some female blacksmiths, so you know. Yeah. Like I am very much in the camp of live and let live. And I just want people to have a good time. Myself included. Please and thank you. It's not about getting our knees for a new longsword. I don't know. Don't see anything wrong. Art, practical stuff, done some Lord of the Rings helmets. Awesome work, but he does not make sharper points. No, that's fair enough. It's just another specialization, isn't it? Like, you could argue that a farrier is also a blacksmith. But they only make horseshoes. Again, we all have our preferences and the thing we, But I do so also enjoy all your lovely custom weapons, yeah. I'd love for him to forge you a sword. You own 21 swords, but none of them are custom made. I reckon they are hellishly expensive, custom made swords. Like actual swords. Not just metal props, but actual swords. Farriers are a form of a smith, but never say that to a smith. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, swords are not cheap, no. No, I reckon, like I know that anything made well is going to cost you money. And that shouldn't be a deterrent, really. Everything you own is practical. That's fair. Do you do like demos with them and stuff, or is it how you how do you use them? Quality cost, yes. Take your hours to earn them. Yeah. You train with the katana and Tai Chi for sure. Also dabble with medieval swords, but often a question of space. Yeah, I guess it's hard to get like a broadsword or something in a flat. Not really going to work. This big old two-handed monstrosity. We have a cosplay version of Frostmourne. So it's like real size, but it's made from like cosplay foam. It is very good. It's very good. Good likeness. You chipped your ceiling with a Tai Chi sword once. Yeah, that'll do. Alaclaw. Definitely not 200 sword inside, no. For reference, you got just short of 3 meters of ceilings. Wow. That's pretty tall ceilings. Or high ceilings, rather. You want another sword now? Sadly, the building is maintained by Muppets, so no. So they don't like it when you make holes in the ceiling? Is that what I'm taking away from this? Just picked up a sword, number 21, you're already looking at 22. Can I ask a technique question? Absolutely, you can. I am curious now. Never asked him. You don't have flamber. How do you pronounce it? Flamberge? Flamberge? Maybe if you're really nice and kind, yeah. Give them knees, yeah. Ask a blacksmith really nicely. Thank you for the lurk, Johnny. I appreciate that a lot. Last E is silent, so flamberge. Flamberg? I feel like I'm trying to do small bits like those diamonds. The paint dries on your brush by the time you've gotten on the model. I do not use a retarder, but I try to use the biggest brush I can get away with. A retarder is also an option. I am currently, this brush that I'm working with now is probably about as small as I would ever use. And it is driving me a little bit crazy because it's, like you say, drying on the brush before it's on the paint. Someone looking for a blacksmith? Well, they're Blumberg! they're sword people here in the chat. today. Manaman and Cash are into swords. Brush with a big body, yeah, so anything that looks like this, that's shaped with a fat little tummy on it and a very sharp tip, is the way to go. A smaller brush is not necessarily easier to work with than a bigger brush. Always use the biggest brush that you can get away with, essentially. Blacksmithing what you do? Oh, sick. I think I remember you saying that. It's a long time ago now, I feel. What do you do, what do you make, mostly, Jack? Love a little spot in the middle of nowhere where you could just go out back for archery training, sword swinging, and set up a forge on an anvil. Sadly, I'm not that wealthy, yeah. Second, the comment about the brushes. You keep a fine tip on your brushes, no different from having a small brush, yeah. You never go smaller than size 2 brush these days. I do, but my size 2 is my go-to brush, normally. At the moment, this brush is a smaller one. This is a 00, but it's only because I can't get a bigger brush into certain angles here. It doesn't fit. The tip on my my number 2 is fine enough that it would be no issue, really. Your official opinion on flambars is F that noise. The smaller ones fit better, madam. They do in this scenario. Listen. Listen. It's more of a case of awkward angles than anything else. Dog hair on my brush. Of course. Brushes by once they got a decent body, nice tip. Try avoid synthetic and unless used to those, because they definitely curl up in time. Yes. I keep recommending these brushes to people, but these orange brushes, they're literally called orange brushes. They are the find of a lifetime for me, because they are good quality and don't break the bank. Good quality brushes are normally quite expensive, and for these you can get the whole set of 5 brushes for I think £38, which I think is extremely reasonable. Rosemary & Co. Exactly. They're my other favourites. They're like they're in here as well, along with the Alex Paint brushes from Hawk Miniatures. They're also quite nice. But I find with those brushes that the ferrules for some reason sometimes fall out, so you have to really, when your brushes arrive, you should first glue all your ferrules back in, because they will fall out if you're unlucky enough, which is really silly for a brush, to be honest. But yeah, I've not had any issues with the Rosemary & Co. brushes. They've been nothing but good to me ever since I started using them. So yeah, I will continue using them until I get a better alternative, better option. Also, not sponsored yet. Maybe at some point I will be lucky enough to have like what are they called, like a affiliate link or something like that, but at this point I am more than happy to just recommend them because they are good brushes. How many did I draw? I don't know, you count them. I think you need to invest in that more. You have brush soap, you just kind of buy whatever. Yeah, buying brushes is absolutely worth spending a bit of money on. It makes a huge difference. I still, like, I had shitloads of brushes. Absolute metric. Fuck tons of brushes. Like, all brushes that I thought, oh, these look nice, I'll buy these, and then they were actually actively shit. Or the tips curled or whatever, so then now they're my basing brushes. They're the brushes that I use if I need to put like texture paste on a base or something like that. Like it's how you call it 50 Fitch in 3 colours. But yeah, a good brush soap helps. For me, I'm also in favor of licking. I lick my brushes to re-tip them. Cheap throwaway brushes have their place, but it will save money and stress over the long term to invest in a few really good ones. Yeah, I agree. And the orange brushes, what's really nice about them for me is that they are good enough. Tips, yeah. Good enough to really get great results, but not so expensive that I'm scared of using them. Which was the case with, well, which would have been the case had I bought like Artis Opus brushes or something like that, because they're really good, but they're really expensive, and I would be worried that I'm gonna accidentally let my paint dry on them or something stupid like that. Also, I don't know if I need to say this, I hope I don't. But never ever leave your brushes standing in your water cup. I had to explain this to someone the other day. They were complaining that their brushes were getting hook tips. And they put their brushes in a water cup in between using different brushes. Yes, Rosemary & Co. supply the base materials for Artis Opus brushes. So it's one of those things where you pay for the branding, really. What also helps, and I don't know if you already do this, Jack, but get a wet palette if you don't have a wet palette yet, because it will just keep your paints moist on your palette, so you're not fighting against the clock as much. You can also make your own wet palette if you don't want to buy one. Just some Tupperware with a bit of sponge in the bottom and some baking paper. Two. Or three. This is my my other favorite. 3 and 2. Yeah, my nicer brushes, I tend to stay away from speed paints and metallics, purely because I travel up into the ferrule more, and it's more like, especially metallics is difficult to get out of your brush. Speed paints just slurp up, so that's where I use my either my slightly less well looked after brushes or my my synthetics or my older brushes. Right, we're getting there with the black anyway. Then I need to highlight the white. The mic I use for most metallic paints are just such big particles. I split the brushes, something rotten. Yeah, exactly. It's just yeah, it's what they need, obviously, to be able to make or give us the colors. But they're not kind to brushes. Also, just a good brush soap rather than, sorry, a good shampoo. If you're using hair brushes, shampoo works too. White Wolf, hello! How did it go? Desmond the Kobold, thank you very much for the follow. How are you doing? How was your stream? Hi Jet, how you doing? How's it going? What were you working on, White Wolf? All good, I'm glad to hear it. More lizard? Paints that use powdered aluminium are a bit kinder to the brush, but you still keep your nice brushes away. Yeah, I'm the same. I just don't really want to take the risk. Some crispy pattern over there, intense and amazed, nothing. Yeah, I'm quite surprised with how quickly I managed to get through it. Just on the black so far. I still need to highlight the white, which sounds crazy. You're working on the Wraith Knight. These gorgeous peeps took us up to 1400 for Wraith. Wow, that's amazing. Gotta go do thing? No worries, Jack. Really appreciate you hanging out. Thank you very much. In all honesty, I won't be here for too much longer either because I am tired and my eyes are tired. This was the one. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. It is very kind. Welcome to the stream. I can't tell, Ben, if that was a good night to Jack or a good night to me, or if you're leaving or if you're preempting my my leaving. To all, chat soon. No worries. Have a nice night, Ben. See you tomorrow. I am so worried I'm going to make a mistake. There it is. Phew. Don't think about it. You'll make it manifest. Yeah, that was exactly what happened. Like, oh no. The splodge. Oh, my paint is beginning to dry on my palette as well. I did not put enough water on the palette, clearly. And my eyes are going. Right, so we have accomplished today black diamonds and the start of white ones. Or technically grey. It's a grey. You do it all the time. Yeah, it's dangerous, isn't it? It's funny because this is like, it's this colour that I've used for the white. And it's almost like a blue. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna go when I add other whites. I'm not sure. This one's probably gonna be just the like brightest tip. But we've got these dark lighter darkest, and then so yeah, quite a cool set. Like the white paint set. Right, I feel like a bit of a douchebag, White Wolf, but I am knackered. I need to go raid out as well. I'm very tired. Does anyone have a request for where we should go for the raid? It's okay, you understand. Yeah, it is nearly 10 o'clock. Let's have a look, see who is online. Twitch.tv. Johnny, is he painting? Absolutely, there we're going. We're going there. We're going to Johnny. Muting for now. Oh my god, he has a face cam. That's new. Copy. Raid. I'm gonna go to Johnny. Thank you all very, very much again for hanging out with me today, for the quiet support, for the chats, for the serious conversations, for the new follows, for the raid, White Wolf. Really very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I will see you all on Saturday. Just double checking that I'm not lying. Yes, see you Saturday on Paint's birthday. You've been zoning? Nice. Have a nice rest of your night. I am going to raid Johnny and we'll give him some love over there. I hope that you'll come with me and have a lovely rest of your night. Bye bye.